Yes, my name is Kathu and welcome to my channel. So, in our last lesson, when we were going through the multiplication table trick for mastering table 11, I left you with one question for practice. If it doesn't ring a bell, I'll leave the link to that video in the description box below so that you're all on the same page. So what was the question? Work out this divide by 11. Okay? So, anytime you see a question like this, what is the first thing that should come to your mind? When you see a question like this, you should automatically know that you need to be conversant with table 11, which we did in our last lesson. So, and this is what we said about table 11. This is what we said about table 11. 11 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 7 times 8 times 9 times 10. Okay? So now that you know table 11, you can answer this question. So, you can answer this question. So, how many times does 12 divide 11? 12, as you can see, is in between 11 and 22. Okay? So that means that we'll write a 1 here, okay? Because 11 is less than 12. So that means we'll write a 1 here because 1 times 11 is 11. 2 minus 1 is 1. Then when you drop the 3, you get 13, okay? So where does 13 fall in table 11? 13 is also in between 11 and 22. So that means that we'll write a 1 here because 11 is less than 13. So 1 times 11 is 11 and 3 minus 1 is 2. So when you drop the 4, you have 24. So where does 24 lie in table 11? 24 is in between 22 and 33. Okay? So that means that we'll write a 2 here because 22 is less than 24. So we'll write a 2 here because 2 times 11 is 22. And 4 minus 2 is 2. Okay? So when you drop the 3, you get 23. Where does 23 fall in table 11? 23 is also in between 22 and 23. So that means that we'll write a 2 because 22 is less than 23. 2 times 11 is 22. 3 minus 2 is 1. The next step will be to drop the 2. When you drop the 2, you have 12. And 12 is in between 11 and 22. So we'll write a 1 here because 1 times 11 is 11. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So the last step will be to drop this 1. And as we can see, 1 times 11 is 11. So we'll write a 1 here because 1 times 11 is 11. And just like that, you have your answer. So the answer to that question is this number here, okay? 112,211, okay? So now that you've reviewed that question, let's go through the trick for mastering table 12. I'm not a very big fan of cramming, and that's why I want to show you these tricks so that you don't ever feel like you need to cram. Okay, so far we've gone through the tricks for mastering table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I'll leave the links to all those videos in the description box below. So let's now go through the multiplication trick for mastering table 12. So here for table 12, okay. So for table 12, here we'll simply start by dealing with the digits in the tens place. And remember, I covered the topic on the place value some time back. So that's how we learned about the ones place, the tens, hundreds place. Yeah. So here we'll start. So for the digits, we'll start with the digits in the tens place. So for the digits in the tens place, all we need to do is to write all the numbers from 1 to 12 in ascending order. Okay. So here we are writing all the numbers, not just the even numbers. Okay. However, there's an exception. I'm sure that by now you figured that most rules in maths have an exception. So, do we remember what we said about table 6? If you don't remember, I'll leave the link to that video in the description box below. So, but we said that 6 times 1 is 6 and 6 times 2 is 12, right? So, those are the only two things that you need to remember for this particular lesson, okay? So now the exception is that yes, we'll write all the numbers from 1 to 12, okay? But we should always remember to exclude the numbers that come before table 6, okay? Or in other words, the numbers that are divisible by 6. Are you together? So, since we've established that 6 times 1 is 6 and 6 times 2 is 12, which numbers will we exclude? Yes, you are right. We'll exclude 5 and 11 because those are the numbers that come just before table 6. Okay? So that means that we'll write all the numbers from 1 to 11 without, 1 to 12 without including 5 and 11. So let's do that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We skip 5, 6. 6. Oops. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We skip 11 and 12. Okay? And that is all for for the 10th place. Are we together? Yes. So for the digits in the ones place, we'll start by writing all the even numbers from 2 to 0. Okay? Or in simpler terms, we can say that we are writing all the even numbers from 2 to 10, okay? But when we covered digits, we established that 10 is not a digit. That's why we are writing the even numbers from 2 to 0 in ascending order, okay? And ascending order just means from the smallest to the largest, okay? Yeah, and this is actually very similar to what we did for table 2, except that unlike for table 2, here we won't be drawing any table. Okay, so let's do that. When we write, okay, so let's do that. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. Okay, start from 2 again. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. Are we together? And with that, you have your table 12, okay? So as usual, I'll leave you that question for practice. One very simple question for practice. So this is the question that I want to leave you with. Work out this divide by 12, okay? So with that being said, we can call it a day. So always remember that practice makes perfect, okay? If you enjoyed the lesson, feel free to like, share, because sharing is caring, and subscribe so that you don't miss anytime I upload a new video. Subscribing is free. Yay! See you in 2 weeks' time. Same place, same time.